wolves return? And why are some people trying to stop them from coming home?
A wolf might attack your own pet, then you'd just be real sad.
You kind of hate to go outside, you know, because you never know when there's going to be a wolf in front of your door.
I really get upset over people that, you know, think that they're man killers and stuff, because they really aren't. They're just like any other animal.
Why are sneakers a big deal? And are they really worth fighting over?
I was in the schoolyard, and this kid walked up to me, picked me up, and then he took off my sneakers and left. I never thought something like that would happen to me.
What is a picture worth? And do you have what it takes to be a great photographer?
I really didn't know what it was going to be like, and I thought it was going to be fun, but I didn't really know that.
This week on the show that asks the questions.
Extra, Nick News.
Nick News W5.
Is it all right to get rid of anything that stands in your way? Well, not if what's standing in your way is a person, but what about wolves? Is it all right to get rid of wolves if they're in your way? We did in America. We did a very good job of it, too. Now the government is thinking of bringing wolves back to the area around Yellowstone National Park. This makes environmentalists happy. It makes ranchers very unhappy. Kids, as you will see, are on both sides of the fight. Which side would you be on?
Deer tracks over there? Deer?
Maggie and me and my dad are trying to find wolves in this area.
Let's head over where we saw that raven. So who's here? The mom's here?
The mom's here, the dad's here, the sister, both of the sisters are here.
We're tracking a pack of wolves that the mother and father came into that area and had a litter this spring. We catch the wolf and tranquilize it and then put this collar around its neck. That beeping comes from inside the collar. We can pick up a signal from the collar and listen to where the wolf is.
Maggie's dad works for the government in Montana, studying wolves and their habits, separating fact from fiction.
They love to travel. Most wolves like to live in packs. They're like families, just like people. Wolves like to howl a lot. They like to howl when the moon's full, when the moon's covered up. They like to howl. The image of wolves being the evil, you know, lurking in the dark goes way, way back to Little Red Riding Hood, the Big Bad Wolf, the Three Little Pigs. It's something that comes up in a lot of myths and fairy tales. Wolves are not animals that are just cute, cuddly, warm. They're wild. It's not true to think they never attack people, but it's very rare, and they just as soon not be bothered with people.
This yellow little glob of stuff, you point it in the direction that you think the wolves are, and you'll hear a beeping. We heard a steady beeping that was pretty loud, so that means that the wolves are close, like probably less than a mile. I howl like when we're trying to reach the pack and we think they might howl back, and it's kind of like I'm communicating with them. And it feels really strange somehow because it kind of feels that I'm talking wolf language or something.
It isn't easy to find wolves these days in Montana or almost any other state except Alaska, but it wasn't always that way. There was a time, not so very long ago if you think about it, when this country was wild. Wolves were part of that wildness. There were tens and tens of thousands of them, and the mountains and valleys were their neighborhoods. Then in the 1800s, European settlers came to the West and didn't want the wolves around.
Wolves are predators, and what a predator is it's an animal that kills another animal to stay alive. They'll eat anything they can catch, so deer, elk, moose, rabbits. When the settlers came, they also killed those same things because they needed to feed the people that came. So wolves started killing livestock because a lot of their prey was gone. People thought wolves were bad and they wanted to get rid of them. So the government paid money for every wolf that was killed. 80,000 wolves were killed between 1880 and 1920, so that's 40 years just in Montana.
By 1930, people had won their battle with wolves. The animal was virtually gone. But since then, some people have changed their thinking about wolves and their behavior.
The wolf isn't the only animal that's dangerous to livestock. They didn't know if it was good or bad to attack the sheep or the cow or any other animal. It's not like you can take them into a school and teach them.
Now the wolves of America's West are considered an endangered species, and a lot of people are beginning to wonder if we treated them right in the first place, if it's really okay for people to get rid of any creature that stands in their way. In the heart of the West, Wyoming, 14-year-old Danielle Arnault is speaking out in favor of the wolf and of a plan to bring wolves to Wyoming's Yellowstone National Park to let them live there freely.
This is a poem I wrote. It's called Wolves. God gave us only so many creatures, some alike and with different features. If we kill them off, this world will be lost. Can we afford to pay this cost? I want the wolves in there in Yellowstone because they were one of the first animals in the Yellowstone ecosystem. And I think wildlife isn't the same without them. They're just an animal that has been not treated good, and I feel that they should be there. They have every right to be there. You know, it's nature. I really get upset over people that, you know, think that they're man killers and stuff because they really aren't. They're just like any other animal.
Other kids in Wyoming think the cost of having wolves around is too high.
I think they're wrong because if they put the wolves in Yellowstone National Park, well, first they won't stay there. In the wintertime, about the elk and everything, they move them to different places where the snow is not so deep. And same with the wolf will also move. They'd move down to where cattle and sheep and horses are. A wolf might attack your own pet. I mean, they'll just attack it. Then you'd just be real sad.
You kind of hate to go outside, you know, because you never know when there's going to be a wolf at front of your door.
I understand the other side of the issue because my family up here ranches and it's their way of living. But the wolf symbolizes a wild, you know, free nature. I think it's important to keep wildness in our lives because we need it.
The fight over the wolves is very serious to Westerners, and sometimes the battle between people who want wolves and those who don't is as bitter as the battle between the wolves and the people so long ago.
When we were at Yellowstone National Park holding up posters, a guy on a motorcycle came up to me and said, "Little girl, you should be shot instead of the wolf." And that just, I just felt really bad after that because it hurt.
I think that that's unnecessary to, you know, say negative things like that to, you know, anybody because everybody has a right to their own opinion. I think it's gone too far. I think that we should just work together on this.
The government is still deciding what to do about bringing the wolves back to Yellowstone National Park. In the meantime, some wolves are returning to other parts of the West on their own. So people like Mike and Maggie Jimenez are watching out for the wolves who travel into places people now call home.
Wolves are here, people are here. We all live on this planet. We can't leave. So now we have to stop calling names at each other and try and come up with a solution. And kids are very good at that.
The story of the wolves is an exciting one, but stories don't have to be exciting to be good, especially if it's your own story or the story of someone in your family or a friend's story. Have you ever thought about giving someone a story